Here we go. Good afternoon. I'm here as a health psychologist, joining you all today on this wonderful Saturday to talk about the emotional component of health. And you would think that in a medical community or coming to the doctor, why would I need a health psychologist? How does this fit in? I work with teams on screening and assessment. I provide brief targeted treatment to caregivers as well as our patients, as well as helping connect those with local resources in the area. The blend is that I can help with behavioral health. I help with the emotional reaction, adjusting after a new diagnosis, as well as how to integrate these new components, my treatments, my medications, my new lifestyle. How does that now fit? And of course, how do I start taking care of myself differently now that my life might be different? I'll be talking about describing emotions or feelings, how to find balance amidst when everything has been turned upside down, how to prevent emotional emergencies, mindfulness-based coping strategies, how to move into acceptance and finding those that are around us, our family, friends, and our new community that we could come into to help with my new life. And then I'll open it up for questions. I like to start with all of individuals I work with just talking about the purpose of emotions. They tell us something. There's some vital pieces of information that let us know what's going on. They might motivate us to action if we're getting ready to go into a game, or when we see someone that might be crying or laughing, it communicates to others. And when I really work most when folks get this new life-changing news is what my emotions are communicating to me or themselves. So one emotion that many of us might experience upon receiving a new diagnosis or getting some unexpected changes to our medical health is fear, feeling scared, surprised, shocked. We realize that this might come from our life being threatened, our life being turned upside down. We might start wanting to run away once we feel this fear, this apprehension, this nervousness. We might feel like we might not be sick to our stomachs, crying out for help, but we also might be wanting to scream out loud. And what we might observe from someone that's feeling scared or fear is that they might just be looking at us. We can't really see and be able to connect with them. They might be wanting to lash out or just wanting to be still, not move, and not want anything to change. Another response might be anger, frustration, confusion, irritability. Very common. The opposite spectrum from fear is very common for it to be seen when hearing that there was an unexpected change, the treatment that I thought I would get, the results. I'm not seeing improvement in my health is what I thought I would see. So I might be being urged to, why isn't everything different? I want everything to be changed. I want to go back to the way it was. I might be furious, anger, screaming out, lashing out, crying. And so what we might see in interactions with others when they're feeling anger, furious, frustration, criticism, being in arguments, even though you can tell that maybe they're not mad at you, but something that they're feeling isn't quite right. And it comes from hearing that their emotions and their feelings, that something should be different. In these situations, when you're surrounded by those who want to help you, that those that want to come together and hearing and feeling this anger, I work with individuals to provide a comforting space so that they have a way to let that anger out because it's telling us something. So that when they meet with the medical staff, their nurses, their family that want to help there and be there for them, they can communicate in the best way that they can. Other feelings that might come and go, shock, loneliness is one that we spend a lot of time talking about. Here today, we're all joined together around a commonality, a common diagnosis or multiple diagnoses, a common identity, to know that this is very rare. Never heard of it. I wasn't seeing this or expecting this in my life. And I might feel very lonely and alone amongst being surrounded by many, many people that might be here wanting to help me. Guilt is one. Caregivers, hearing that your child is being diagnosed with something that you didn't know if you could prevent or stop from happening. Because a lot of our parents want to prevent anything bad from happening to their children, their loved ones. And recognizing that guilt means that you did something wrong. In this case, there was nothing that you did to cause this. Finding balance, or what we like to describe in mental health as our emotion regulation, is what we hope to achieve to do. And there's some situations where our emotions, once we do certain things prior, will be able to settle, to come back down to an easier level to manage. But there's some situations where we just might not have the skills. Our bodies might not feel quite right, feeling well, as well as there's still something that's going on that's making it hard for me to find balance. Whenever we feel that we're in a crisis, I like to have the picture of a burning house, because when something is wrong and our emotions are responding accordingly, they're very intense and very strong, it's going to be something that makes it harder for us to regulate. If we're having declining health or something quite isn't well, we can find that our emotions are more intense and stronger than ever before. And when I come to work with individuals, sometimes I've never been in this situation before. I've never been in this place before. And so having the skills and the knowledge to know what to do with these emotions, I just don't know what to do. And so knowing that there's certain conditions, is something truly wrong and my emotions are telling me? Do I have a decline in my health that's making it hard for my emotions to calm down and regulate, as well as this is a situation where I might need help? Once we look at those, we can really get to the bottom and start moving towards acceptance and moving into our new life as we know it. Some other things that might get in the way are my beliefs or the things I've been taught about what emotions mean. I work with individuals from different walks of life who come and they work with me and they've never been placed in this situation before. And they have beliefs and knowledge about our emotions that might get in the way of helping them calm them down, to regulate them. They might believe that emotions are stupid. And so a challenge that we might respond to that belief are, all emotions help me with understanding this experience. Well, I could just do whatever I feel like. I don't need to hold back. I can just let loose. And a challenge to that with responding the way that my emotions make me feel is that doing what I feel could be ineffective. Though while our emotions are vital pieces of information for us to let us know what's going on, they might not match the facts of what is happening in the moment. And when I've had such a great life, I've been so successful. I've been an A student. I've never needed anyone for anything. I've been able to do things on my own. I might not be used to telling others that I might feel different, feel incapable, feel sad. And it really does feel like a weakness to do that. And so a challenge that is very, very, very important to say to ourselves is that it is healthy to tell others when I feel bad. Just as healthy as when if I don't feel well, I go in and I see my primary care physician. Certain routines, certain practices that we do with our health every day are so important to helping us keep a level balance, helping us find consistency, predictability when our life has been turned upside down. When people talk about self-care, what they're really talking about are certain practices every day that seem basic to many, but are so crucial in times when things feel out of control. Making sure that we get appropriate sleep and rest throughout the day becomes very important. Often where I start in my interviews, as well as check-ins every time we meet, is what time did you go to bed? What time did you wake up? Did you have any waking up? As well as how long did it take for you to fall asleep? Can really, really be critical to how well someone is feeling. Rest throughout the day. I used to be able to go. And now that I have a new chronic health condition, I need certain times to rest at different parts of the day. Nutrition, we've heard of being hangry. Our stomachs are telling us something that we need. Our medications need to happen consistently, as well as hydration. These routines over time, while new or different for this new part of our life, allow our bodies and our minds to be ready for what is going to happen next. They build predictability. And when things are predictable, while there's some things that are out of my control and I can't get a hold on, these are things that help make that steady beat, that predictability that will allow me to be my best. Planning activities throughout our day. As little as our meals, activities, fun, sitting outside. Activities will look different when you have a chronic condition that might be getting worse, more acute. The things that we used to do, finding things now that fit within your lifestyle and planning those in your day are vital and crucial to allowing your body, your emotions to regulate and helping you be your best person. Mindfulness. There's been a lot of talk about meditation and being mindful. And today I just kind of want to break it down as well as allow for some space and time to practice and exercise. It's very effective. It's one of the skills that you can do when everyone is around you. No one might even know that you're practicing, as well as you can do it actively in a way that would allow you to find your center. Bringing awareness to the present moment can look like you're closing your eyes and you're focusing on how your body feels. or as well as having your eyes open and noticing things that are around you. We observe our sensations. We allow them to be, we experience them without judgment that they're bad, good, or we want to change them. And we allow ourselves to participate fully. We want to be able to sit in uncomfortableness little by little, so that if it sneaks up on us unexpectedly, we have more experience in managing that. Not only does it help us regulate our emotions, we're able to be more kind, gentle with ourselves because we become more familiar with it. It doesn't catch us off guard. We become curious, as well as it allows our executive functioning, our thinking brain, our planning brain to be able to focus and be recharged to go throughout our day. I walk individuals through belly breathing, stomach breathing, because sometimes we don't take a full deep breath. And so knowing that we can practice this while sitting, we place our hands on our stomach, on our midsection, close your eyes or look in a spot ahead of you down at the ground. And we focusing on breathing, filling up your lungs all the way in, and letting that breath all the way out through your mouth. I talk about you can count your breaths. You can 1, as well as noticing the temperature of your breath when it goes through your nose. You hold it before releasing it out through your mouth. I just want to pause here for a moment and just giving you the time and the space to notice your breath. Noticing that your attention might move away from your breath, letting yourself know it's okay. And you turn your mind and your attention back to your breath. Very good. Believe it or not, in that 1 minute, maybe 2, that might have felt longer than this entire presentation, your physiological responses, your heartbeat, your blood pressure were changing. Those little things that we can do throughout the day can give our bodies as well as our minds a break. Grounding is something that I do whenever we think of those hot, intense emotions. It's something that we can do externally if we're in a meeting, getting bad news, something that can allow me, my hot emotions to calm down, picking one thing that I see, noticing one thing that I hear, checking in with how I feel in my feet or my hands, noticing if there's anything at all that I smell, as well as what does it taste like? How do things taste in my mouth? Is a very powerful mindfulness exercise as well that can help someone be their best, either when they're by themselves or in a room full of people. Validation and acceptance are really big concepts that can take time. Once we find a space where our emotions, our feelings begin to make sense and are accurate, we truly believe it, we can continue to work on acceptance. And our acceptance of the way our life has changed and how we feel can come and go. Validation is simply allowing ourselves to know and allow ourselves to say, it makes sense that I'm a little nervous. It makes sense I'm having hard to concentrate after hearing the news that I just received. And when met with a serious problem that we cannot change, working towards allowing the world to be as it is by practicing willingness over time. And knowing that some days I might feel as if I accept my situation, and there's other days where it's very hard for me to do so. Community. Community might look like one other person, or it might look like 2, 3, 4, or an entire international community. Whenever we're met with a new challenge or the same challenge that's ongoing over time, one of the most strongest predictors of someone's ability to be resilient in times of crisis are quality relationships. They found that when individuals who might go through something very scary and life-changing, that having one person that's consistent, that they can be completely themselves with in wanted times, as well as some of the worst situations, and make a difference in someone's ability to bounce back and recover. Finding community when you feel isolated and alone can be a challenge. And so it makes me proud to know that our medical professionals, our medical community, our nursing, that we're finding opportunities to bring individuals together that have a commonality and that can share and lean on each other because they understand and it makes sense to them. Thank you today for your time. Thank you for allowing me to join your community today. And I want to allow for any questions or comments that you all might have. Oh, yes.
So you mentioned meditation. And so do you routinely recommend that to everybody? And is there a special type of meditation that you recommend?
Yes. Meditation that might be a word or phrase that might be connected to a lot of folks' spirituality or religious practices. And mindfulness is kind of that commonality that might look. So for individuals that I meet with, I might ask what their everyday look like. And so if folks are spiritual and religious, meditation might look like prayer. Having it maybe at the beginning of your day, or if they're adolescents or teens, I'd like to kind of put it right after supper time, dinner, in a routine way. And it's a time where that is all that the focus is on. There might not be any other duties or homework to do or important conversations. But where we might see that our mind gets busiest is right before bedtime.
You get some kind of mindfulness technique to you. I mean,
Yes.
so someone hasn't done it to themselves.
Yes. So one that is available very commonly on YouTube videos or on apps, wellness apps. So Headspace, Calm, or using YouTube for free videos and instructions. One of the best ones is belly breathing. That's one of the most effective ways to change how your body might be feeling in the moment. And if we practice it every day, maybe 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock, it can become stronger and we get better and better at it. for when we need it the most during the day.